Of roughly 3,700 spider species crawling through the United States, only about a dozen pack venom strong enough to be medically significant. They all belong to just two genera, Latrodectus, the widows, and Loxosceles, the recluses. Here is the full breakdown of the real threats, the pretenders, and hour-by-hour bite timelines. North American medical literature draws this line with remarkable consistency. Those two genera stand alone according to every major public health source. The Illinois Department of Public Health states it plainly, and entomologists at Rutgers University reached the same conclusion after reviewing bite data across the country. Only Latrodectus, the widows, and Loxosceles, the recluses, carry venom capable of causing systemic illness or significant tissue damage in humans. All the spiders that dominate fear-mongering posts online sit well outside this pair of genera. Wolf spiders, jumping spiders, orb weavers, even the large fishing spiders. None of them produce medically dangerous venom. A bite might cause temporary pain or mild swelling, yet it never escalates into the life-altering scenarios associated with the true threats. Understanding this boundary prevents unnecessary panic and lets us zero in on the dozen species that actually matter. The 5 Latrodectus species native or established in the United States form a clear map of risk once you know their borders. Southern black widow, Latrodectus mactans, claims the widest territory. It runs from Florida north along the Atlantic seaboard all the way to Massachusetts and New Hampshire, then west across every Gulf state into Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. It also thrives in all 4 American deserts. Look for the classic glossy black body and bright red hourglass on the underside. Western black widow, Latrodectus hesperus, fills the entire western half of the country. Northern black widow, Latrodectus variolus, covers the eastern states and crosses into Canada. Both share the same dark coloration and hourglass mark, so range becomes the surest way to separate them. Red widow, Latrodectus bishopi, is the rarest by far. It lives nowhere except Florida scrub, specifically the stretch from Ocala down to Palm Beach and the isolated pocket at Cedar Key. You will find its messy webs tucked among saw palmetto and scrub palmetto fronds. The cephalothorax is reddish-orange, a quick field clue no other widow offers. Brown widow, Latrodectus geometricus, arrived as an invader. It first appeared in Florida in 1935, then Southern California in 2003. Today it occupies a solid band from Texas through Georgia and South Carolina. The spider is mottled brown with a more orange hourglass, and its bite usually produces milder symptoms than the black species. In many cities it is steadily pushing the native widows out of garages and eaves. Those 5 ranges, and a few color details let you identify every widow you are likely to meet. The recluses form the next major group of medically important spiders. 11 indigenous Loxosceles species live across the continental United States, and 4 of them are known to harm humans. The brown recluse, Loxosceles reclusa, holds the widest foothold. It is firmly established in 16 states: Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas. Populations grow densest through Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Scattered reports appear outside that band, yet none of those sightings mark true established colonies. Florida sits outside the core range entirely, despite the constant stream of misidentifications that claim otherwise. 4 desert species fill the arid southwest instead: Loxosceles deserta, Loxosceles arizonica, Loxosceles apacheia, and Loxosceles blanda occupy Arizona, New Mexico, Southern California, and parts of Texas. Together these ranges give a clear picture of where recluse encounters are actually likely. Not every spider blamed for serious harm actually earns that reputation. Science has cleared several species long treated as threats, and the correct label is simply not medically significant. The hobo spider, Erytagina agrestis, once appeared on the CDC list of medically important spiders. In 2017, the agency removed it after finding no solid evidence that its bite produces necrotic wounds. Wolf spiders of the family Lycosidae look large and move fast, which fuels fear. Their bite equals bee sting level pain and poses no further danger. Yellow sac spiders, Chiricanthium inclusum and Chiricanthium milde, can leave pain, redness, and the occasional small lesion. Even then they rank far below widows or recluses in medical importance. Native United States tarantulas deliver bites that are not medically significant. Their primary defense is urticating hairs that irritate skin and eyes. Published cases repeatedly document false blame for injuries these spiders never caused. Reputation outran the data on every one of these pretenders. The black widow stands apart from those cleared species. Its bite delivers neurotoxic venom that triggers a predictable sequence of symptoms called latrodectism. This timeline helps you recognize a true widow envenomation versus something minor. In the first 0 to 15 minutes, people often feel only a pinprick or notice nothing at all. Then from 15 minutes to 1 hour, mild local pain develops along with swelling and redness around the site. Between 1 and 3 hours, the systemic phase of latrodectism sets in. Muscle rigidity and cramping start at the bite and spread to the abdomen, back, and chest. At the same time, the heart rate increases, breathing becomes rapid, and blood pressure elevates. The symptoms reach their maximum intensity from 12 to 24 hours. After that, the acute phase subsides across 3 to 7 days, although lingering muscle aches can continue for weeks. A critical point sets this apart. The neurotoxic venom causes no skin necrosis at all, in clear contrast to recluse spider bites. That contrast appears clearly in the brown recluse timeline known as loxoscelism. The bite often goes completely unnoticed because it is painless. Between 2 and 8 hours later, an early blister or bruise develops surrounded by an inflammatory halo. Then from 24 to 72 hours, a clear or hemorrhagic vesicle forms at the site. Across the next 3 to 4 days, the necrotic center turns blue, black, or gray and sits inside a pale ring, creating the classic red, white, and blue sign. And a scar forms afterward, and the wound heals over weeks to months. In a minority of cases, especially people under 30, systemic loxoscelism arrives at 24 to 72 hours, bringing fever, chills, and nausea. Rarely this progresses to hemolysis, rhabdomyolysis, or kidney injury. Most lesions blamed on the brown recluse are actually misdiagnosed skin infections or bites from other sources. In the end, only Latrodectus and Loxosceles are the real medically significant threats in the United States. Deaths in healthy adults are rare and knowledge beats panic. Thanks for watching. Write a comment and check related videos for local ranges.